Let's talk now about Wayde van Niekerk. Completed his first race of the season, I should say. He ran in the United States 44:58. Comfortable win for Van Niekerk. Mid 44s is what he was at last year. Heading in to Tokyo. This year a bit different because the injury. He's had even fewer races under his belt. This headline, though, I think sums it up that we have up on the screen here. Gets a confidence boost. I think it's got to be a confidence boost. I just don't know how much quicker he can get, given that we're right now in the final stages before World Championships. Like, this is it. And it's just tough to drop a bunch of time in 2 weeks.
Yeah. I mean, on paper, like not on paper, but like when you see the number 44, you're like, ooh, that's like an elite time. But a lot of people can run 44 seconds, right?
Mhm.
A lot of people are gonna run 44 seconds like 3 times in 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to like see a 44 mid and be like, uh-oh, watch out, Norman, watch out, Gardner. Because you look at where he is on the list, he's 14th on the list. And if you take
Yeah.
out duplicate Americans, you only have to take out 1, 2, 3. So he's 11th when you take out the duplicate Americans. So,
Yeah.
and I think some people are still itching to run even faster. Again, he may get a lane,
Mhm.
but this is not a watch out. The great world record holders coming for Norman and James and Gardner and Allison. I just how old is Wayde van Niekerk now? 92, so he's 30,
30.
right? Just turned 30. He turns
About to
30
turn 30.
in 10
Oh,
days. So,
beginning of the championships. He'll turn 30. Yeah, I think finals is realistic for him, given that descending order list that you said, but it's tough to get beyond that. But I was looking at this men's 400 because of Van Niekerk's performance. It's not that deep, Gordon. It's sneaky, not that deep. You got Norman up there. You obviously have champion Allison, who ran the 43.7 behind Norman in Eugene. But Ross ran better last year. Michael Cherry ran better last year. Karani James, I think, is always going to be in the mix. Stephen Gardner, if he's at his best, gold medal favorite, you'd say, still. But past that, like trying to think about who's going to make the final of this one, it's pretty complicated. There's a lot of people who could throw their hat in the ring. And this year, only what? How many guys have run sub 40, 44 this year? Two, correct? Norman and Allison. That's it.
yeah.
Yeah. So there's room for him to get in just because this is not that deep of an event this year.
I think one of the Jamaicans are going to pop a fast one and run low 44s and make a final. But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it is a weaker year, and that would be a way for Van Niekerk to kind of not surprise, but work his way into the final. But it's just like dealing with the injuries he's been dealing with and being at the age that he's at, it's just so hard to beat someone who's 10 years younger than you
Yeah.
in a 400. It's just, it's hard.
I think Gardner is let's pull up Gardner's stats there. If you could, Colt number 5 there, Stephen Gardner. It's just because if he's at, like I said, if he's at his best, gold medal favorite, but he hasn't raced a lot this year. If you look at 2022 results, you go down to those 400-meter outdoor results. Yeah, he's only run 3 of them. One of them was at the Bahamian Championships where he just cruised and ran 45. He ran Paris Diamond League, and then he ran in Baton Rouge. That's all. So I don't know what type of form he's in. Like I said, if he's in the form that we know he can be in, gold medal. If he's running just 44 lows, though, that changes the equation entirely. Not just for gold, but for all the medals, because that would open up a spot. So I'm just thinking of this in terms of Norman's hopes of getting gold, but also other people's chances of getting into the medals. I'm just interested to see how this one plays out because on the US side of things, you have 2 guys who are coming off of college seasons. Could they run well and extend it another week? Absolutely. Could they be just gassed and not make a final? Absolutely. So then you take out 2 more guys, and it just starts to get very thin at the top of the men's 400. What I'm
We'll wait
saying
and
is this is a
see.
great opportunity. This is a great opportunity for Michael Norman to win gold, is what I'm saying. This is a
You're
clear
getting sucked
path.
in, bro. You're getting
I
sucked
do it
into
every
Michael
year.
Norman. You're getting sucked
I
in.
do it every year.
Be careful.
Um, yeah. Pull up Karani James. Someone's asking about Karani James um, in the chat too. I'm not forgetting about Karani James. We'd never forget about Karani James. But I mean, Norman's looked better this year than James. Now James has run more than Gardner. He's run 5 400s, won all of them except for that one in pre when Norman beat him. But I think James is going to medal. Like I would bet on Karani James to medal. If I had to give you the podium right now of the medalists, I'd say in some order, Stephen Gardner, Michael Norman, and Karani James. But again, not much is known this year, except that Norman is in good form. That's the one certainty that we have going into the World Championships. But we know the championship, he hasn't been able to get that global medal. So even the person who's been the most consistent this year, there's question marks about when it comes to time for the championships. So I'm excited to see it. It'll be a fun one.